Yesterday, U.S. authorities made a startling arrest. A Chinese national, Yunqing Jian, working at the University of Michigan, was caught allegedly smuggling a dangerous agricultural fungus into the United States. The fungus in question, Fusarium Graminearum, a name that doesn't ring alarm bells yet, but it should. Let's take a look. What is Fusarium Graminearum? Fusarium Graminearum is a fungus, but not just any fungus. It causes a devastating disease called head blight, or Fusarium head blight, primarily affecting wheat, barley, rice, and maize. These are the world's staple crops, the food that feeds billions. And when this fungus infects a crop, it doesn't just reduce the yield, it poisons it. This fungus produces a special toxic compound called deoxynivalenol, or DON, better known as vomitoxin. The infected crops become dangerous, not just to sell, but to eat. It accelerates grains rotting, food safety declines, and the economic losses. It's known to cause billions of dollars in crop damage worldwide each year, into the US. And now let's talk about the health impact, because that's where this becomes a much bigger story. In case of humans and animals who consume infected grains, may suffer from serious gastrointestinal issues, nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain. It even causes liver damage. In livestock, especially pigs, it can suppress the immune system, reduce growth, and even cause reproductive failure. With repeated or high-level exposure to DON has been linked to immune dysfunction, hormonal disruption, and even potential long-term organ damage. But in pregnant women and children, the risk is worse because mycotoxins affect rapidly dividing cells, including those in the fetal brain. In other words, this isn't just a crop problem. This is a major public health problem. But head blight caused by Fusarium Graminearum is not new. It's been quietly damaging crops in North America, Europe, and Asia for decades. In fact, in the United States, it's been one of the top threats to wheat and barley since the 1990s, particularly in states like North Dakota, Minnesota, and Michigan. In China, it's a regular destroyer of wheat fields in the Yangtze River Basin. Even in India, outbreaks have been reported in Punjab and Uttar Pradesh. In Europe, Germany, the UK, and parts of Eastern Europe have battled severe infestations. Also in Canada and Brazil, reported large-scale losses due to head blight. As the global food system is vulnerable to this pathogen, especially as changing climate patterns make crops more susceptible to fungal growth. Why is this a biosecurity issue? Now here's the most alarming part. Fusarium Graminearum is considered a potential agroterrorism agent. Yes, agroterrorism, the deliberate introduction of plant pathogens to destroy crops and destabilize economies. So why was Yunqing Jian allegedly carrying this fungus into the US without declaring it to customs? Authorities believe she may have intended to conduct genetic modification or field experiments without proper biosecurity clearance. The FBI and Department of Homeland Security are now involved because when an unregistered pathogen enters a country, it bypasses years of regulatory safeguards, risking uncontrolled spread. We often talk about lab leaks, viral bioweapons, or antibiotic-resistant bacteria, but the truth is, threats to public health don't always start with humans. They often begin in the soil, in crops, and in the invisible toxins we consume without knowing. Food security is national security. When a fungus can wipe out a harvest, make food unsafe, and threaten both economy and public health, it becomes everyone's problem. That's why this arrest matters. It's not just about one individual. It's about oversight, bioethics, and the invisible battlefield that is modern agriculture. This is your Health Bulletin. Stay informed, because in a world of silent threats, awareness is your best defense. If you found this informative, share it. And remember, food safety isn't just about the kitchen. It's about what happens long before food reaches your plate.